First off, I want to thank the brave men and women who work behind the wall. I want to thank them on a national level because their job goes unrecognized.
How do they try to turn a guard?
Well, correctional officer. Sorry, I apologize. But correctional officer.
How you guys doing today? It's Anthony Gangi. Welcome to another episode of Tier Talk. Today's topic is complacency enables corruption. It's powerful. I was watching Escape at Dannemora yesterday, and it's a Showtime miniseries. If you guys haven't seen it, you should give it a shot. Again, it's supposed to be coming from the original Inspector General's report, but there are some things that I feel with experience that I can see things a little bit differently. And one of the things that I've been thinking about since last night after I watched it is complacency and its role with corruption. And that's where the title comes from. Complacency enables corruption. And when I get back from our sponsors, I want to explore that. There's a reason why I've been thinking about this for the last 2 days. And again, complacency enables corruption. So we're talking about complacency and manipulation. And I think it's really about the environment that we're in. It goes past the individual. Now, when we talk about manipulation, we usually talk about the individual and the situation that they may be in. Part of that situation is the environment. And if the environment is complacent, that's going to aid in corrupting staff. So again, complacency enables corruption. We're going to explore that topic when we come back from our sponsors. Now, guys, if you haven't, the show Tier Talks for you brave men and women that work in correction. So please subscribe, interact, hit up those community boards. I post up questions and polls all the time. I'd love to get your responses on that. And also, when you subscribe, hit that bell. That bell's going to notify you every time I post up a video. I stand by for our sponsors.
I wanted to attend a university that had an intelligence program. I wanted to look at problems different. I wanted to increase my critical thinking abilities. AMU offered those avenues to expand. Obtaining your degree as an adult, you're actually paying yourself and investing in yourself. You can't put a dollar on it, it's priceless. It's something that can never be taken away from you.
American Military University. Learn from the leader.
Thank you guys for listening to our sponsors. I'm hoping I'm able to explain this because for some reason I have it in my head, but I'm having trouble explaining this thought because it's kind of new. The title of this is Complacency Enables Corruption. So what do I mean by that? So let's just think about me being an inmate and I'm looking to find someone I could put a target on, someone I'm looking to manipulate. If I find someone that's soft, gullible, someone that's overly friendly, very kind. Sure, there's some personality traits that may make this inmate or myself, I'm looking to manipulate this person, lean towards this individual. But then there also has to be something about the situation, about the environment that they're in, that's going to enable me to employ this game. And that's where that fail-safe comes in, and I'll explain that. Prisons are run by fail-safes, guys. If an inmate crosses over one boundary, that, it's still not okay, but again, they still have 5 or 6 other boundaries to cross through, and that's good. That's how we protect each other. Same thing with how we protect our staff. If we have that soft individual, an individual that has that target on his back for manipulation, the person that's ideal to be played, but they're placed in an environment that is not complacent. They're placed in an environment in where the officers are doing what needs to get done. They're effective. They do the job. It makes it harder for this game to be employed. It limits what this corrupted staff member can accomplish. And that's kind of the fail-safe. You understand that? We have these security measures in play, even for staff, because there's always going to be that concern that someone or some inmate may be able to corrupt that staff member. So those measures are put in place to kind of limit what a corrupted staff member can accomplish. Again, nothing's 100%. So if we're complacent in enforcing these rules and regulations, enforcing these security measures, we're enabling the inmate who's choosing to corrupt that staff member. And that's where we kind of get into the collective teamwork, of us all working together and making sure that we kind of police each other, if you will. And custody with civilians, guys, as custody, you are the supervisors of security. That is your expertise. That's where civilian staff have to be subordinate to you. So if you're complacent with the rules and the regulations, that wall that should be up there that would kind of limit an inmate, like, yeah, I know the staff member's soft, the civilian staff member's soft, but the unit is run tight by this officer. Well, if it's not run tight and the officer's lenient with the rules, it gives the inmate a better chance to employ whatever game it is that they're trying to employ, and it really doesn't place on a limit on the staff member who's being corrupted. It doesn't. So again, I think what I'm trying to say is, when it comes to complacency enabling corruption, is that we ourselves, the ones that have to enforce those rules, we need to enforce those rules. Because I think inmates look beyond the individual. They look at the situation, they look at the environment the individuals are in, and that's how they kind of realize, well, who's a good target? Yeah, this person may fit the target personality-wise, but he's working in a unit where the officer just is by the book. This person isn't going to be able to get it done because this person has to do these measures each and every day. But then you can get the same soft, let's say, civilian staff member, and let's say that they work in an area that's more laxed. Now, those measures that are meant to be that fail-safe, they're non-existent, opens up the door for that inmate to say, you know what? He's a good fit, or she's a good fit. Because not only is this person overly friendly, kind, and all this other stuff, the officer's not doing their job. The officer's not playing their role in regards to being effective at safety and security. Now, that's the complacency aspect. You want to add another part, corruption enables corruption. Because if you have a staff member, and the reason why I'm focusing on officers and civilians is because officers have that supervisory role, and you got to realize something. When inmates look to manipulate, they look to manipulate the higher sense of authority because it gives them a bigger span of control. So, again, I would like to say, when it comes to safety and security, officers supersede civilians. So in that case here, when you have an officer who is corrupt, there's no way that he can approach a civilian or another staff member who's being corrupted. There's just no way it can happen. Because the moment you go to approach that civilian or that other officer, or whatever the case may be, that person is going to look at you and say, really? Really? Because you're doing stuff too. And now, unfortunately, your actions, they're going to get us all hurt, or worst off, killed. So again, I think I explained it correctly, but complacency enables corruption. If you're complacent and you run a lax unit, that puts bigger targets on the individual's backs who really probably aren't fit for the job anyway, but they're doing the job. So what we need to do now is we need to make the area tight. We need to be effective. We need to follow our rules and regulations, because if we don't, we no longer we no longer can place a limit on what that individual can do, what that corrupted staff member can do. Because again, the inmates are looking at everything: the situation, the environment, and of course the individual. So we don't want to make it easy for them. So if you're lax, there's no limit to what that person can do in your unit, because you're not following the rules and regulations. So if I want to come after one of your civilian employees, it's going to be easy game for me, because you're not forcing that civilian employee to follow the safety and security measures that are put in place to, let's say in this case, avoid contraband from coming in, or to detect contraband from coming in, or stop an inmate from having sex with a civilian staff member, whatever the outcome is. And on another note, corruption enables corruption. If you're doing foolish stuff, you lost your sense of control. You lost your sense of power, because there's no way that you're going to be able to regulate somebody else when you have skeletons in your closet. So think about your actions. Again, that's just a fail-safe. You know, we need to have all fail-safes in place. We need to have all fail-safes in place. So again, I thought this was a great topic. I hope I explained it well. But again, just to end it, complacency enables corruption. Corruption enables corruption, if you will. As always, guys, the show's Tier Talk. If you haven't, please share the content I give. I'd appreciate it. Trying to get to 10,000. I'm over halfway there, so that's awesome. And guys, if you haven't, don't forget, subscribe, hit that notification. The bell's going to tell you every time I put up a video. And as always, guys, stay safe.